What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Record. Before we begin, I would like to thank Movenpick Hotel Istanbul Marmarasi for having us here today. And I would like to apologize for the long break. A lot of things been going on, and we needed to keep the main thing, which is basketball. So I think we've been doing a good job at that, 8 wins in a row. So welcome back. Before we begin again, I would like to introduce my teammate, my brother, soon to be all EuroLeague member. Don't mess this up, guys. Mr. Elijah Bryan.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. So today we have a really special episode, not just one, not just two, but 3 of my teammates and brothers. First, we have my guy, Jordan, who's my former teammate and actually an NBA championship champion as well. Then we have my other brother, D.O., one of the best EuroLeague bigs we have on the market right now. And then joining us mid-season, PJ Dozier.
Welcome to the show, fellas. Welcome to the show. All right, so to begin, let's just keep it simple. What got all y'all into the game of basketball?
Well, I guess I'll hop in. For me, basketball was always kind of just part of the background. My dad was a junior college basketball coach, so kind of just grew up around it my whole life. In the gym with him, watching guys. I grew up playing basketball with his team, and that's kind of got me to where I'm at today.
For me personally, basketball isn't really in my family background. My dad played table tennis, but when I was a young kid, I was always in the street playing basketball with my neighbors and stuff like that. And so I guess maybe when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, my mom signed me up for this little league basketball team, and I've been playing it ever since.
Yeah, basketball, run through my family's veins.
What does that mean when you say?
Everybody in my family played basketball growing up. Dad, uncle, sisters, mom, everybody.
This is college or overseas?
Everybody played college. My uncle went on and played professionally. Had a pretty good, solid career overseas. Played a couple years in the NBA. So yeah, it's what I've always known from the very beginning.
So obviously all you guys have played in the NBA. Coming over to Europe, what's the difference been like? You hear guys like Luka all the time say it's easier to score in the NBA compared to Europe. So whoever wants to answer first, what do you think?
You can go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll hop in.
In my opinion, I think it's just more it's a couple different factors, the culture shock, first of all, being an American and living in America and playing basketball in America your whole life, and then having to move halfway across the world to come play over here. I feel like that's a big adjustment.
You think that affects you on the court?
I think it does for sure, right away. I mean, at least at the start, just because you in a foreign place, you don't
So what was your story when you?
My story?
Yeah. Tell us about your story when you first made that decision from you were in a 2A with
No,
Chicago?
I was never on a 2A. I was standard G.
Yeah, you don't do 2 ways.
Yeah, he too good.
Nah, it's not even that. I was in the G, and then that summer I played summer league with the Bulls, and after that, didn't really see any of the good options that I wanted. So me and my agent sat down. I was like, we can go overseas. And so originally I was gonna go play in Spain. Something happened where that didn't work out, and I ended up coming here to Denizli, Turkey. And it was just the biggest I ain't gonna lie, that shit was crazy, bro. It was OD.
You've heard the story, but let the people hear the story.
It was
Don't hold
OD.
back. Don't hold back. They want to. You guys want to hear.
It was
the story.
crazy. When I first got here, it was first of all, me and my little brother came. Shout out to my little brother. We took 4 flights. Flew from Minneapolis to Boston, from Boston to Istanbul.
First class.
No, not first class. Back of the plane.
In the footer.
Boy, it was crazy. Minneapolis to Boston, from Boston to Istanbul, from Istanbul to Denizli. It was the longest travel day of my life. Got to Denizli at 12 in the morning. It was another hour and 15 drive to the city. Got there. The apartment they set up for me. so hot. It was so hot in there. I was just like, what is going on? The whole time it was going on. Like, we just didn't know what the hell was going on. So came back, there was no food or anything. We just sitting there in the steam room pretty much. And like afterwards, the team like manager, his name is Omer Yusuf Halit. Shout out to my dog.
All the shout outs today.
Came back, was like, sorry, brother. It's like 1 a.m. He's like, sorry, brother, but we got to go to the hospital for your
Straight off the plane.
Straight off the plane. And I was like, there's no way. I was begging him. I'm like, let me go at like 7 a.m. He's like, nah, we got to do it now. So we ended up doing that. So that was on like a Friday. The very next morning after I woke up, called my agent, I'm going home, bro. I was like, yeah, it's time for me. I was like, I'm going home, I'm gonna go play in the G. But that was like the first couple of days, and then it ended up being a really nice experience. And then
Well, because it worked out for you. I mean, fast forward, what, 2 months, and then you're with us at Efes EuroLeague, you know, starting, contributing to a winning team. So.
It was a quick turnaround.
How was y'all's first, obviously you both started in the NBA. So what was y'all first experience with Europe? And when y'all first arrived, what were your ideas and thoughts?
For me, it was a big culture shock. I mean, as you know, I was caught in between coming over here, staying back home. So, making this jump, coming here, coming to Istanbul the first, couple weeks, definitely was a big adjustment culturally. But I think in terms of the basketball, like you were saying, like how Lucas said, it's easier to score in the NBA. I think after being here for however many months now and seeing the way the game is, it's a lot. I mean, it's two completely different styles of basketball. I mean, here, there's no space for everything. You're never going to see a hedge in an NBA game or a show. There's no different defenses. It's all drop.
Switch or drop.
That's all it is. So it's easy. In my opinion, it's easier to make those reads in the NBA than it is here because every game is something new. Different teams throw different schemes at you. Even throughout the course of a game, it might change. So it's different. And I think both sides have pros and cons. But for me personally, it's something I'm still, as like adjusting to. It's a big adjustment. If all you know as a pro is playing the NBA to come in here. So still adjusting, but I mean, at this point in my career, it's something I think is good for me to go through early on. So,
absolutely. What about you, P?
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Well, you played with Jokic.
Yeah, man.
True.
And you played for a team in Serbia.
For sure. And that's why he said what he said in that interview when he was talking about, how he goes and plays, how he does, and he's like, brother, like, I played in Serbia. Like, that's real. Yeah. That's real. Yeah. So for that to be my first experience overseas, leaving the NBA, I was never a guy that never said never because I never know, what the future holds for me. So overseas was always an option, and I knew that in the back of my mind. So, making that jump and that decision to head to Europe last year was big for me, being away from my family for the first time. Like Dio was saying, that's something that we all, really, really cherish and it means a lot to us, especially Americans, making that jump. So that was the biggest decision for me career-wise, and, I'm glad I made it. European basketball is exciting, it's interesting, and once you get the hang of it, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to watch, fun to play, and it's amazing how just a couple of different rule changes, can make it turns the whole game around. You got guys that play really well over here that would not last over there. And vice versa. You got good guys over there in the NBA that would not be able to play EuroLeague basketball. So, I think, like you guys were saying, like it's two different ball games. You just kind of got to figure out what works for you. And, I think we all are doing that. So
I think he had a very interesting experience, though, because he comes from the NBA, obviously playing with great players. In the bubble, you were in the conference finals or conference semifinals.
Sure. Yeah.
And then he comes to Europe playing for the Phil Jackson of European basketball, Obradovic, and maybe the craziest fan base in all of sports.
Yes.
How was that experience, getting off the plane, going and playing there, in your first experience to be in Europe?
Definitely. I didn't know what to expect. I wore the wrong colors.
Red.
getting
No,
off the
no
plane.
one prefaced you with what's
Nothing.
up.
So you wore red and white.
I wore red and white. Woo. And check this out. I saw Kevin Punter, I saw KP and Zach in the airport. When they saw me, this is my first time, seeing these guys, before I got to Serbia. And they looked at me, and I'm like, what? And they was like, yeah, you shouldn't have wore those colors. That's all they said. That's all they said, bro. So when I showed up there, the fans was excited. But
They
all
were
of
at the
them-
airport.
At the airport, packed out. Fans packed out at the airport. Like, you really live like rock stars out there. Like, it's amazing because you being in the NBA, I'm like, oh, this is like stardom. Like,
Right.
People see us, it's like, oh, like they see God, you know what I mean? And over there, it's times 10.
Right.
Times
And I don't
10.
think people really understand that. Just
Yeah.
like the fandom is at a different level
At
here,
a-
especially
at
in a place like that.
Entirely different level. Yeah. So it was something that you can't even expect. You hear about it, but until you live it, you'll never get that feeling.
And Obradovic, how was that?
Yeah, man, it was great.
What's the craziest story you have about Obradovic
Yeah.
Craziest story.
that you can share?
Nothing off the limits here,
Off the
brother. It's
record.
off the record.
Off the record. Man, my first experience with him, that I was like, oh, okay, was we lost our first EuroLeague game, I believe, in Maccabi. Lost a close one. And after the game, I don't know what the rules say, but after the game, we went back to the hotel and watched film for 3 hours. He broke down every single play. The play went on, he said, rewind it. Broke it down. Next play goes, rewind it. Broke it down. Through the whole game, y'all. Like, I lie to you not. Like, it was something that I was like, okay.
You started questioning, like, is this?
Man, I already heard that he was, the coach of all coaches. You know what I'm saying? And he's very knowledgeable of the game. So the fact that he was able to, he can pinpoint what you was doing wrong in one play, and do that the whole game. And it took like 3.5 hours. And we had to get up in the morning, catch a flight, and practice the next day back in Belgrade. So yeah, that's probably one of the craziest stories I have. Great coach though, man.
Sure.
So, moving on to, let's say, us. We started out the season kind of rough. You weren't here with us. We had multiple different coaches. In terms of, what do you think clicked for us? What do you think? I'll start off with me. I would say that obviously we've had multiple coaches this year. 3 in the last, I don't know.
12 months?
You had 4 coaches since you've been here, right? So we've had a lot of coaches, but I think we finally just really got healthy, and kind of figured out exactly our rotations, who was getting the ball and stuff like that. What do you guys think?
I think the same. I think at the end
everyone
of the
got
day,
healthy.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, health is very important in Europe, especially when you building certain teams. You don't have a budget to go and have a bunch of players that can do a bunch of specific things. So in Europe, teams are very specifically balanced in ways. And I missed a large part of the season. I missed 12 games or 11 games or something like that. So I think we had to learn how to play without me, and then we had to learn how to play with me because we had a lot of new players, new coach, new system, new everything. So I think it's challenging, especially for a young team, new GM, new coach, to go through all these different things and have to learn how to win together. But once you do figure it out, once you do have a rotation, a system, a strategy, and once the players find that chemistry, I think, that's when you started to see us find that consistency. Because we had games all throughout the season. We would have a game where you would be like, all right, that's a team that you have to look out for because they are dangerous. But then one game we would look like that, and then the next game we would be like, all right, what the hell are these guys doing? Like, this looks terrible. But I think once we found that chemistry, once we were healthy, everybody kind of settled into their roles and knowing what was available to them. And then after that, just play hard. And I think once we were able to find that, then we were able to kind of hit our stride and, get us to the place that we're in now. And that's from my perspective. But y'all two have been here all year. PJ came halfway through. So from the beginning to where we are now, what would y'all say are the biggest differences that y'all have witnessed or noticed, and what have been the struggles for y'all? Because this is you haven't even been 2 seasons in EuroLeague yet. You've had 4 different coaches, and this is your first time in Europe. You've had 2 coaches in 6 months, different strategies, different roles, starting preseason. I was out, you were scoring 30 a game. So it's like it's challenging to understand exactly what is wanted of you in a brand new environment. So what have y'all struggles been, and what have you learned, and how have you grown through the process to get us to where we are now?
I think, like you were saying, I think the beginning of the season, I think we were not lacking identity, but we didn't know, not like you said, everybody didn't really know their roles. And another thing I've said before is I think earlier in the season, I mean, we were running through a gauntlet. I mean, beginning of the season, that was the toughest part of our schedule. And luckily we were able to figure it out down the line. But like you said, personally for me, it's like, 2 coaches, 2 GMs. This is my first year being in Europe. And roles change, continuously. Some games, like I said, I'm out there in the corner. Some games they need me to do something. Some games I need to do something else. So it's been different. Obviously 2 different, Bonke and Tommy, 2 completely different sides of the spectrum in terms of coaching. They both have their own things. But it's been a challenge at times for sure, especially going through all that as a new player, trying to adjust to the European game. But luckily, I mean, I got y'all make it easier for me. And it's always nice, like now, we've been on a 8-game winning streak going into playoffs. So when stuff starts clicking like that, it's a lot easier. And depending on what happens, I mean, hopefully I just continue to grow and get better. So.
What I would say is, like, I'll kind of just piggyback off of what you guys are saying. Like, I feel like as our team, like, the talent and the ability was never in question. It was just more about, like, health. I feel like it was just a lot of, like, outside of basketball-related things that, like, we couldn't really control. Like you said, we had, like, guys that were injured, a couple coaches. Like, we've had 3 coaches here in, like, the last year, new GM, all that type of stuff. So, like, I think at the start of the season, it was just kind of like all those like up and down type of things that was also contributing to our struggles early on. But once we got everything figured out and guys getting back healthy and stuff like that and figuring things out on the floor, I feel like that's a major reason why we were able to put together this winning streak that we're on right now. I feel like individually, like this is my first full season in the EuroLeague, so I would say it's just like, I just look at it personally as like a learning experience, just trying to get better each and every game and just take in like the things that I do wrong and the things that I do right and how I can keep improving. That's how I just kind of looked at it this year. And now we're in a place as a team where we've wanted to be all season. And so it's just, I feel like I'm just really excited just to be able to, excited and honored also to be able to compete in the playoffs for the first time, especially with you guys, and also versus a very good team. So, I don't know.
This boy ready, huh?
I'm gearing up, so we'll see how it goes. But I feel like I have full confidence in ourselves that, we just got to just go out there and continue to play the brand of basketball that we know how to play.
And another thing, like you said, too, like, I feel like the beginning of the season, too, like, people weren't healthy. I feel like every other day somebody was coming down with something. People were getting sick. People hurt. I know your ankle. I mean, I got my eye poked out. Mm-hmm. My ankle was a balloon for a couple weeks playing on that. I mean, it's tough when it's dealing with all that stuff. So.
And it's so much more important in a 34-game season to be healthy, because over an 82-game stretch, at some point you're going to have games where you have your full roster together where you're healthy. But
that's another thing. I mean, out here, every game matters. That's something
nobody feels sorry for you.
Y'all really feel that now.
I haven't
nobody
seen that
feels sorry
for the
for you.
last 4 years.
That's like the motto. Every game matters.
Literally.
So do y'all feel that now that
nobody feels sorry for you at all.
Lose a game, you get torn up, boy.
Literally.
Because then, at the end of the regular season, we see the standings and we like, bro, you a game or two away from jumping up or going down. 3, 4, 5 positions. It's like that's insane. You're not seeing that anywhere else, bro.
Yeah.
We got the same record as like 3 or 4 teams, but we're in 6th place.
Right. And that's when, then you look back on it and you're like, all right, we lost to Maccabi beginning of the season by 2 points.
Yeah.
We lost a home game to Asvel that we probably should have won. Up 15
Monaco.
at home against Monaco.
Yeah.
In those 3 games, we got home court advantage. So it's like
we top 3 team.
as cliche as it sounds, every game matters over here. It's like it's genuinely
Truly.
true. And like once you obviously y'all still early on in your careers over here, but once you're here for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you start to really understand like every game genuinely matters. No matter who you play, you got to take it and play it as if it's like a playoff game, because those are the small things that get you from 6th place to 2nd place, home court advantage versus non-home court advantage. And in Europe, the amount of teams that have won on the road is a very low number. So, and it's an uphill battle for anybody. Obviously, we're going through it now. We've done it before, so it ain't impossible. But you know what I'm saying, like, it's definitely different in that aspect of things.
I think also to put in context is for the viewers is we're not just playing EuroLeague. You're playing Turkish League as well. So you're playing Paris one week, and then you're going to play. No offense to Biocek, but in terms of motivation, and I've been on the other side. Dio, you've been on the other side, where knowing you've been waiting all week. You got Efes coming. Even sometimes you got a bonus on the back end of that thing. You know?
I know.
So those teams are waiting for you. So you see these. I mean, we lost to Biocek there. We lost to
every year.
Yeah, they got our number, but it's like. You look, and as a spectator, like how could they lose? How could they lose? Obviously, you have certain rules, but those teams are ready, and there's talented players. So, and you're playing with a different ball. And
I was gonna say, switch the ball every other game is crazy.
Exactly.
Like people just don't
That's
understand.
another thing too. Like even now, like practicing, we have playoffs coming up. But we're practicing with the FIBA ball, but we're gonna play with the EuroLeague ball in how many days? It's like it's tough to. That's one thing I will say in terms of NBA is like.
everything's uniform.
Uniform, it's all like one thing. You know exactly what you're gonna get. So
even the gyms, you go to the gym, one gym might be the height of the goal might be 10.5.
it
might be 8.
Crazy hoops out here. Like this. Like this. That's crazy. It's cool though.
Definitely an experience, for sure. But so obviously on the court, there are a lot of adjustments. But off the court, you guys are living your daily life. Life is still life. You still have things that are going on. It's 2 hours a day you're at the basketball gym. Outside of that, off the court, living as an American in a European place, in Turkey of all places, how has the adjustment been? I know Dio didn't leave his house last year. He was intimidated by the big Istanbul city. But he definitely lived his life a little bit better this year. He's gone to some restaurants. He's found some places he enjoys to go to. But how has life been for y'all off the court? Because you still gotta have a life. You know what I'm saying? So how has it been? Compare Serbia to Istanbul, or the situation that y'all been in.
Definitely, I think similar to the States, you go to one city, it's one way. You go to another city, it's completely different. Serbia, you get from point A to point B in 5-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest change. Of course, out here, a 10-minute drive turns into an hour quick. So I think that adjustment, I haven't driven out here yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even that guy, but I'm not driving. I'm not sitting in traffic like that.
Even something as simple as that, like as an experience, like you have guys in the NBA making $60 million, but they still drive themselves to practice. But here, it's a completely different situation where you're like, for me to go from here to here, it's going to take me an hour. I don't, after practice, I'm tired, my legs is heavy. I don't want to sit behind this wheel. So it's like, it's definitely a different experience.
And I mean, you have to adjust. Like, I think that's what the European experience is about. It's about adjusting. And when you have guys that have been, around and experienced, the area or whatever, you guys are able to say, this is going to take a long time to get here, or you might want to be closer. You might want to live closer to the gym or further away where all the restaurants are. Like little things like that. If at first it sounds like we're just trying to have conversations, get to know each other, but like you really have to listen to these pointers because you're going to need them. So I think that's been big for me.
I mean, piggybacking off of what you said, I mean, with the driving thing, same with me. Like, I'm only driving to practice. I say it every day. The only place I will drive is practice. That's it. If I'm not driving to practice, I need a car or Uber to wherever else I'll go. I will say, like, the other day I went to breakfast and went to, Estonia Park? And that was the first day I got home, and I literally said to myself, I said, this is like the first time I really, like, it wasn't like I felt like
Normal.
Yeah. Like maybe like it kind of, not that it's growing on me, but it's like I'm getting like used to it now, being around it. One thing I'm still not used to though is like I have my dog here with me, of course. So, I mean, back home in America, you have your dog, take her with you wherever, and like it's not a big deal. But here, you walk by people and you would think I have like a little demon next to me, man. People will avoid. I've had people scream, yell. I'm like, and she'll be on her leash. I'm walking with her. I'm like, man, she's not bothering anybody. But the cats everywhere there's cats in restaurants, everything.
Culture.
Yeah. It's a big, like something like that is like a big culture difference.
Definitely.
But it's funny, man. I bring my Kira's her name. I bring her, try to go to a restaurant. They'll say no to her, but I'll see 50 cats. Cats will be eating off of people's plates in there, and they won't say nothing. But it's all good. It's a little
Cats
different.
run the city out here.
For sure.
For sure. How about you, Mr. Minnesota? Mr. Minnesota.
Man, shout out to Woodbury, Minnesota, man. Shout out to all my loved ones out there. Obviously, like you said, like last year, like I didn't go nowhere at all because I was just like, first of all, the traffic is like the biggest deterrent. Like you said, 10-minute turned into an hour drive. I don't got time to sit in the car. I'd rather be at the home playing a game, order something to eat. But I feel like this year I just like was just more inclined to just like go get food some places. Like there's really nice restaurants here, and I like food. So like,
What's your
There's a
favorite
million
restaurant?
of them. Yeah, favorite restaurant.
my favorite restaurant,
We all know the answer to this.
probably Hakkasan.
Hakkasan.
Hakkasan, bro.
But like Hakkasan fire. But they got like just great restaurants all over the city. But I feel like just this year was just more just like 25 years old, living in Istanbul, Turkey. Like not a lot of American people can have the opportunity to say that they can do that, and so.
And I think that's what's so important about being able to play this game globally. It's like the experiences, like you said. 25 years old, 10 years ago, if somebody would have told you you would be playing basketball in Istanbul, Turkey, eating at a 5-star restaurant overlooking a beautiful view of a bridge with your friends, what would you have said? Man, ain't no way, boy.
Truthfully, I'd probably be like, boy, I'm in the league.
I
don't know what Turkey.
Yeah, exactly, but
like, it's a great point though. Like, it's a blessing, honestly. So it's been nice this year, just getting out a little bit more. But like you said earlier, like I still don't be moving around like that. But at the end of the day, Istanbul is a great place. It's a nice city.
I have a question for all three of y'all. If you took, obviously the language is a barrier. You take the language out of it, you don't see any signs. All the signs are in English. Would you feel like Istanbul is outside of, like I said, the language and the alphabet that you see? Would you say Istanbul is so different than like a major city in the States?
Absolutely.
Like a New York City?
Absolutely.
You still would?
What would you say is different?
The infrastructure, everything is built
fact,
different.
the infrastructure
that was gonna be my point.
Yeah,
But what about the
it's
culture?
way different.
There's this view,
and the
bro.
culture's
So
different
would you say,
too.
so infrastructure is because Istanbul is way, way older than the United States, correct?
No,
I mean, everything here too is just like, I will say I've been in a big city. Like, obviously, I'm from Buffalo, New York, but I grew up going to, my AU team was in New York City, so I was in New York City every weekend. New York City and Istanbul, New York City is a big city, major traffic, crazy too, but it still does not feel as big as Istanbul, how it feels.
Istanbul is enormous.
Bro, it's huge, bro.
And everywhere, like the buildings, like stuff is stacked on top of each other. Like it's crazy. Like there's so many people, so many buildings everywhere. It's like, I don't really see a lot of space in general. Like,
Would you say
this a side street? Exactly.
Would you say it's a little intimidating or overwhelming?
And people
think
can park anywhere
Overstimulating.
I think it's overstood. Yeah, like I feel like, and like we talked about earlier in the season, like even getting in the car and driving, like this was the first time since I was 16 driving that I need to lock in to drive around the corner. Like I'm like 2 hands on the wheel looking around. Like it's a lot different. So
I think that's also too because like you said the language and the buildings, but I feel like in this podcast we're like saying a lot of negative. There's a lot of great things about overseas basketball. There's a lot of great things about the culture, but it's just they roll the toilet paper this way. In America, we roll it this way.
Yeah,
so it's not
different.
necessarily
It's
like
just
it's a bad
different
thing. It's
from
just
what
different. So like even from my experience, like sometimes like when you go to a roundabout, no one's stopping for you.
Right.
Like,
Dude,
it's not like
that is a crazy thing, bro. That is the craziest
it's
thing.
not like they're being disrespectful. It's just like that's the culture. Like
That's the
even you
way.
see the student drivers like.
They drive dumb slow. Hey, boy, the student drivers, get out the way, fool. So much, dog.
But I always tell my wife that it's like it's a culture thing. So it's like it's hard to really be mad because they can say what we do is rude. You know, with the Turkish culture, you see a lot of times they go when they're always willing to offer you tea or offer you they go
So
handshake,
respectful,
all that
yeah.
stuff. But in America, we don't do that. So they could look at us as rude. So it's like it's kind of like yin and yang. Like this is how they grew up and this is how we grew up, and we're more used to
You want
that.
a tea in America? It's gonna be $10.99.
I would say,
But it's gonna be out here.
risky. I would piggyback off that though. Like, I feel like from my personal experience, like, obviously, like being in America all my life and then coming here and living in Istanbul, Turkey, with predominantly more Turkish people. Like, I feel like Turkish people are really respectful, really nice out here, and like especially like our fans too. They show a lot of love as well. And so that's also another. That's another thing that's definitely made like a transition coming from back home over here like a lot easier too. Is just being around people who are also really welcoming. That's what I was saying.
Would you say the fan base is more in Europe is more similar to like a college fan base, where it's like more loyal, more
For sure.
passionate about the actual club?
Like I feel like NBA fan clubs it's like different now. Like
I would
it's not
say-
the same no more. Like how like growing up, like there used to be like die hard like NBA fans, but like I feel like over here is more like how I used to view NBA fans when I was growing up.
I would say NBA fans always say are 9 to 5 fans.
Yeah.
So we're here religious fans. It's like the religion. It's part of their
No cap,
identity.
like-
Culture, yeah.
So you know, like Red Star, Partisan, like that's a
believe that.
religion.
Yeah, they believe
like,
it.
For sure.
You know, like you don't
Fener
go
Gala.
exactly.
Pana, Olympiacos.
Olympiacos,
It's like,
yeah. So
like-
that's the difference. And
Somebody's grandpa was Olympiacos fan. Now his son was. Now I am type like.
It's more so like college.
It's
And I said
fire.
that when I came over here. Even like, I feel like the game atmospheres themselves are like more like a college atmosphere. Like, I mean, we've all played in big college games. Like, I mean, it's more the games here, and we've all been in the NBA. The most packed game in college is probably feels more like here than the most packed game in the NBA
100%.
here. So
That whole parlay thing messed up.
the betting.
Man,
The league, bro.
The betting messed everything up back at home, man. I say this all the time. I don't know if y'all got any partnerships with them or whatever, but
and why do you say that though?
because like to our point, I feel like the fans are watching the game for a totally different reason now. They're
Exactly.
watching the game to
Even
see
the
if they-
players sometimes.
Oh,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Hey,
boy.
hold on now. No, that's a fact though, for real, man. You know, the American dream is all about a dollar anyway. So, you know, if it make money to them, it makes sense. And people don't even have favorite players no more. Their favorite player,
Yeah.
makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
I never thought about that.
that's the bar. Hey, no, but people's favorite player changed from day to day now. You know what I'm saying? Whoever parlay
makes
hit,
sense.
that's who they like that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
Nah,
it
that
is.
was
And
funny as hell.
it messed it up, man. It messed it up for sure.
That's a bar, low key.
For sure.
So moving on, we're talking about the NBA in Europe, and obviously we got recent news that the NBA is planning to come to Europe. Do you see that being able to happen, to be able to come and there be two different leagues, or should they combine? And like, what would you, I mean, because all you guys played in the NBA, so how do you think it would work? Would you play with FIBA rules? Would you play with NBA rules?
I feel like there should just be one like universal. Like I actually, speaking of Obradović earlier, like I just seen an interview with him, like a clip, and he said that basketball should have one universal like rule book to abide by, no matter if you're playing in the NBA or EuroLeague or FIBA. I think that's the most important thing, cause like you said, like you coming over here, you're used to playing basketball a certain way because you've been playing that way since you became a pro, and then now you have to like figure out like how to play a certain different way, a complete different way. Whereas I feel like if there was just one rule set, and these are the rules, the universal rules of basketball, I feel like it'd make.
Okay, but if that's the case, which rule book do you choose?
I choose the league.
You choose the league rule book. Why?
The NBA.
Why?
Because I feel like the NBA, like, regardless of like, okay, people have their opinions on like the league and stuff like that. I feel like the NBA rule set is just like allows for more freedom of expression as a player.
freedom of expression as a player, but I don't necessarily think that's a great thing because you see how everybody says the ratings of the league are dropping now because of the freedom of expression of the players. Is everybody just jacking threes?
But
Like,
if they made the NBA though to where every game mattered, do you think it would be different?
It would be way different.
I think it would be different
think
if you made it to where every game, where the standings were so close, where every game it mattered. Like how
the standings are close. Look at the West; it's still close.
I mean,
Every game should have mattered.
there's no game here where guys are sitting out last couple games of the season. In the NBA,
little ankle sprain,
the injury report is half the team. You got all the guys on, end of the roster, two-way guys. The young guys are all playing those. The last month.
Okay, I respect your ideology with the NBA rulebook, but if you put the European rules in the NBA, you would see who's really skilled. You would see who's really talented, because at the end of the day, you have guys like Giannis. What is Giannis's best skill? Giannis can get to the basket and dunk on anybody, but there's nobody in there, so he's dunking by himself.
Right.
Would it still be an NBA three-point line?
Sure, you can make it an NBA three-point line, but I think the biggest rule change, the biggest difference is the defense of 3 seconds. The fact that if you take Rudy Gobert and you put him in the middle of the paint and you say, okay, Giannis, now come dunk on me every possession, Giannis is going to have to develop a different skill.
He still might.
He still might, absolutely. But that alone makes it more exciting. That helps the NBA in a sense, because now instead of Giannis dunking by himself, now it's 7 foot versus 7 foot at the rim. That's exciting. So still shoot your threes, still do all the things you're doing, but make it more challenging for guys to score the basketball. And I think with the European rules, it's so much more challenging to score the ball. Put on the NBA court as well.
Giannis came over here, what was it, Eurobasket?
Okay, yeah.
Average 30. Same thing.
No, he did not. Fato, check that stat.
Giannis's stats from the last Eurobasket tournament that he played in.
But did you see where his team went out though?
30.
Okay, sure.
My thing is, if we're gonna combine leagues and everything to make it one universal thing, let's combine the rules too. So boom, now the three-point line is NBA, but there's no 3 seconds. Defense is 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a combination thing that is gonna have to happen for this collab to even like really work. You know what I'm saying? Because of course EuroLeague has done a great job establishing who they are, their own identity, and they're not gonna forfeit that for anybody. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. And the NBA, they don't really have a reason to, give up the front seat to anyone either. So somebody's gonna have to put the ego aside. I think both parties are gonna have to put ego aside and make it make sense for both sides and, figure it out. But I think that'll be the best thing for basketball for sure.
Yeah, I think that's very true. That if you combine the rules, I think that would create the best version of basketball that there is. Because let me ask you specifically, a guy who scored, what's your career in the league, 38?
Yes, 37.
37, 38.
Yeah.
In that game, a lot of your buckets was isolation heavy, getting to the basket on closeouts drives.
Did the game matter?
Did the game is towards the end of the season, playing in Chicago.
Okay, but now, let's say, and this is no disrespect to any team. What's your career high over here now?
Over here, 21, 22.
In Turkish League, though,
I've had 35 this year.
35 with Peckham?
Peckham away.
Peckham. Was that 35 more challenging than the 37 that you had in?
The 35 here was more challenging for sure.
You see what I'm saying? But
it's just, there's no space to do anything. It's like you beat one guy, and that's something like, I tell you guys all the time, I'm still learning. It's like you beat one guy, and there's 3 other guys right there. Whereas in the league, you beat one guy, and it's really,
the rim.
Yeah, and the only thing you have to read is this guy going to help, or is he going to, the guy who's sitting outside the paint, is he going to help, or is he not?
That's my whole point. It's just like you had 38 against whoever the hell you had 38 against, and you had 35 against Peckham, who is not even a playoff team in Turkey, and you said that was more challenging. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, for you to actually be able to see the skill, because you have skill, we all have skill, to have the best version of basketball, to have the most skilled group of guys playing together on a basketball court, I think there needs to be a combination of both sides of the spectrum, because then you won't be able to hide the guys. In the NBA, there's at least 150 players that you can hide because they're either you just play defense and you just go stand in that corner
and shoot that thing
and shoot it.
But I will say too, like with that is like part of that is, and I think the rules is like it takes out some of like the flashiness of the game. Like in the NBA, I feel like you see a lot more like crazy highlights, crazy plays than over here, and that's because of the space and all the stuff that they can do with that. So, and that kind of takes some of like the entertainment factor.
So would you say the NBA is more based on the entertainment factor or good basketball?
I mean, part of it is why the ratings are down a little. I guess it has to be entertainment.
Yeah. So if you change some of the rules to make it more challenging to score, where guys have to compete at a higher level, because you see a guy like Luka Doncic is top 5 player in the NBA offensively. Defensively, if you watch his clips,
Better than Tatum.
he's like, not good. That's a conversation for another day. But we can cut right there because that was bullshit.
So you said Luka Doncic is better than JT. So who's your top 5 in the league right now?
Giannis, Shea, Jokic.
In order? Is that
Not in order.
Oh.
This is no order. Giannis, Shea, Jokic.
Ant?
I don't know.
Tatum?
JB?
I mean, you gotta
Jaylen
put
Brown?
JT. You gotta put JT. Probably gotta put JT up
Appreciate it.
there.
Thank you.
And do you put Luka in there
Wait.
right now?
Sure. I think
Well, you say Jokic?
I said Jokic.
Oh, okay.
My first
last
three
year you
are
had
Giannis,
Embiid
Jokic.
in there, but he's been injured.
He's hurt.
So now, I mean, 27, 9, and 6.
LeBron, Steph?
Oh,
The 5
Steph,
best players
too.
in the NBA.
Jokic is the best.
You know Jokic is in there.
I think that's an
You know-
argument, bro.
You know Shea's in there. You know Giannis is in there.
Yeah.
I think
sure.
Giannis might be the best in the league.
You saying
You
that.
love it.
No, that's no way.
What makes you say that though?
Okay, Mr. OKC.
I do love OKC.
Because Giannis played both sides of the ball, bro.
Shea does too.
I'm not talking about shit. I'm talking about it's not
Jokic
really.
does too, though. He just plays a drop.
Not really. I mean, like, okay, cool. Like, shout out my boy Big Zoo in LA. Had 20-20 on Jokic the other night. Like,
So you don't play defense?
You're not seeing nobody get Giannis 20 and 20.
What do you mean? 20 points? Sure you are. 20 boards
No.
isn't against a person.
I'm just saying, like, you get 20 boards off the strength of activity and, like,
Sure, Yoke will have 20 and 20 against him.
He had 60, 20, and 20.
all right, where's who?
Whoever.
Nah, Giannis.
If we look up,
Bro,
if
Giannis
we
really
look
the
up-
best player in the league. If you really think about it, bro, like, people say they're not gonna put him in that conversation. They're not gonna say he's the best.
Recency bias, huh?
Recency bias,
Not even.
and also because he's not like skillful. They're gonna say he's not
If
skillful.
we're really talking about it, like it's
Boy,
really Jokic.
he averages 30.
It's
I
It's
don't
really
even know-
Jokic.
I don't
Like,
even know why
the
that's
dude,
that's
the dude
not
had a
in the
60-point
discussion,
triple-double
gang.
and no one was talking about it.
It's not even a question.
You know why though?
I ain't gonna lie.
They
I
did
said
that.
they
That's why they're not
they
talking about
expect
it.
that, bro.
They're not talking about it.
I say it all the time, man. I said I seen Giannis take a split the defense from half court with one dribble and go dunk that shit.
Bro, he's
I don't wanna hear it.
He's literally the best
That
player in
makes
the
you the
league,
best
bro.
player?
Bro, he
So that
averages
means
30,
LeBron's
bro.
the best player of all time because he could do that.
No, LeBron's the best player of all time, bro.
Okay.
That's a whole different conversation. I'm not gonna get into that because that's
Because
incorrect as well.
because Kobe, right, is the best
But-
of all time.
If we want to talk about best player in the league right now, boy, it's definitely
Kobe.
it's
It's definitely
I
Jokic.
think it's okay. You can say it's Jokic, that's fine. But
If
I
you
think
go
it's,
skill by skill,
it don't.
Jokic.
To me, like I feel like it don't. Like, you don't even got to go skill by skill, bro. It's
What
just
about what about Donovan Mitchell?
it's productivity.
What about him?
Is he a top 5 player right now?
No.
No.
He's an MVP candidate for
He's
sure.
an MVP candidate.
He's an MVP
His
candidate,
team,
bro.
he has the
It's
best.
not- it's not
He's the
top
best
5,
record in
though.
the NBA right
Not
now.
top 5. I mean, you can call him top 10, but not top 5.
This year, top 5.
This is a
This
five.
year
This is
might
top
be
5, bro.
He's there. He got to be there.
He wouldn't. He's not. He's top 10.
He's an MVP candidate though.
These are 5 best players in the NBA right now.
Jokic.
Giannis, Jokic.
I think Donovan Mitchell is
SGA.
having his worst year.
He's an MVP candidate, literally.
But his team is doing well, but he's having his worst year numbers-wise. But I think
He's not gonna win
I
it,
think-
but he's a candidate though.
I think he deserves to be a candidate because he's been selfless in the fact where he's like, I want Evan Mobley and Darius Garland, these guys that have more responsibility.
So if he's a candidate, that means he's top 5 though, right?
Boy, he's
I don't think
nice
he's the top
though.
5 candidates though.
Golly, Donovan
only 3
Mitchell
can-
like
right?
that.
There's only 3
Shea,
candidates.
Jokic, and Donovan.
So is he top 3?
No, I don't think. I think he's like probably 6 or 7 for real. I'm dead serious though. I think Shea and Jokic are obviously is one of those two.
I know Giannis is up there. Like
Giannis
3.
is there.
Bro, they're not
Tatum
gonna give it
is
to
there.
Giannis, bro. But it's really the MVP conversation has really only been Jokic and Giannis. Is
So
like,
picking so picking y'all's top 5 or MVPs, whatever it is, y'all being hoopers for real. Do y'all go based off of who plays the game at a high level, skill wise, or do y'all say, okay, here's the numbers, let's look at the numbers and compare them, Because there's a lot of analytics is the thing nowadays. So do you just look at the numbers and say, well, let's compare points, rebounds, assists. Let's compare defensive efficiency, offensive efficiency, whatever. Or do you say, okay, I feel like he can hoop. I feel like he's not really that good. He's skillful. He can do this. He can do many things. Like, how do y'all go about it?
Switch Giannis and Jokic on the teams. Denver gets significantly worse.
No, they don't.
What?
No, they don't, bro.
He makes them better by the passing.
No, they don't, bro.
God.
Giannis is an underrated.
Gordon done.
Giannis is an underrated playmaker already, bro.
Deal.
But
He averages like 6 assists a game, bro.
he
6,
played
7
with
assists.
Jokic.
He's a four-man,
Here's
bro.
the difference.
So
though.
don't
Like,
ask me.
they're
That's insane.
they're two teams built around two people. Like if you put, you can't make that argument. Because will Milwaukee be as good without Giannis?
Yes.
Depends
If you
on
flip
who.
Jokic,
Absolutely not, bro.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Dame and
not, bro.
Jokic
Absolutely
instead
not.
of Jamal Murray and Jokic?
Bro, y'all not understanding this, like his defensive presence, bro, on the floor. He's like the best help side
Like
defender.
Aiden. We saw it firsthand.
Exactly, y'all saw it firsthand,
We saw
bro.
it.
He's like the best help defender in the league by far, bro.
Now, probably one of them, yeah.
No, still, not now.
Hey,
Still,
that man
that's
that won every award that the NBA
heavy
got.
is impossible, bro.
That is true.
Then
That
he won
man
D-Boy,
every award the NBA
MVP,
got, bro.
All NBA first team, and a ring.
Two MVPs.
Did he win most improved? He won
He won most
I think?
improved.
did.
I'm talking about he won D-Boy, All NBA first team, and MVP all in the same year.
NBA All-Star MVP, NBA
All-
Cup MVP,
all in the same
Finals
year, bro.
MVP.
All in the same season, bro.
bro.
Come on,
No,
bro.
not
Like
all in the same season.
it's
That's
recency
crazy.
bias, bro. And he play in Milwaukee, bro. They're not like it's a small market team. That's
Denver's
another thing
small
too.
market bro.
It's probably a bigger market than Milwaukee, bro.
Probably like Minnesota.
But to your point,
Hey.
I feel like, bro, when you start asking, like, okay, if you put this player on this team, who gets better? I don't feel like any team gets worse if you put Nikola Jokic
You
on
put
that
Jokic
team.
on every
He
team.
makes everyone better.
There's
He
no
makes
team
the,
that
makes the
you,
right
bro.
play every
Giannis
single
make
time.
every team better too.
I think Jay will make every team better too, though.
Exactly,
I
bro.
think it's the same. I think they're two different players, but I think they both make.
Well, he averages
If
30.
you put
Giannis
Giannis
with
on a
Wemby.
team with no spacing,
You
no
put
shooting,
Giannis with Wemby.
then what?
Denver got shooters.
It's okay, but you put Jokic on any team, shooters or not. The way people can cut with him
No.
and get
What
baskets.
NBA teams now don't have shooters though? Like,
What I'm saying is Giannis needs the floor to be spaced. If they can pack the paint on Giannis, it's dead. He's done. Not done, but like he's gonna struggle. Jokic can step behind that 3-point line, or he can go back to the basket and shoot a hook.
But you know what's crazy
Or
though? It's like
one-legged
every
fade.
team says that about Giannis though. Every team says if we make him do this, he's gonna struggle.
Still
But
30.
He still does it.
Still
But
30.
in the
Doesn't
playoffs, when
matter.
it slows
Hey,
down,
bro.
he's only had one.
I see it.
Hey, bro.
I see it.
But in the playoffs, he's done it one time in the playoffs, no?
That one
Nah, he was
time he
hurt
got
last
shit
year.
and had 50 in the closeout game.
No, that
And
was
his knee
OD.
folded
That
in
was
half,
OD.
and he went and still played.
Yeah, whole knee. Whole knee.
That was crazy.
But people underestimate that nigga, bro. But he's really
he's definitely
Hey, bro, that-
easily
that
top
man
two players.
he's
folded
the
his
best
knee in
player in the
half
league, bro.
and came into practice 2 days later.
Working out.
Working out, bro. I'm like,
Nah,
I thought
mentality
it was
is
over with.
Different.
But all right, stepping away from the NBA talks, we have a very important situation coming up here in the next week. We have a playoff series coming up against Panathinaikos, the defending champions. What are y'all's thoughts going into these playoff series? All of y'all's first time in the playoffs in EuroLeague. What do you expect? What are your expectations? Are you nervous? Are you excited? How y'all feeling?
What you think, Jay? What's the word again?
I think, obviously, first time out here, I think the team we have, first I'll say is that I think the team we have, if we are all clicking on the same page, I mean, I think it's tough for anybody to beat us. But at the same time, obviously going up against Pana, defending champs, they got, obviously, Kendrick Nunn is really on top of EuroLeague right now with how he's been playing. He's hooping. We got to go, deal with that. But like I said, I think when we're clicking and we have everything rolling, I think that we can beat anybody, regardless of the matchup. So just got to go in there with that mindset, and then, everybody has to do their part from, coaches all the way down to to Urson. So it's all,
Absolutely.
Shout out Ursa.
but yeah.
What you think?
Man, defending champs. It's gonna be a tough one for sure, but I think it's like you said, obviously nothing's impossible. I feel like people are writing us off already. See a lot of things being said in the media. I'm not gonna touch on a lot of them, but
Say it. Say your piece.
Say what you seen, bruh.
hey, man, I don't know. I just seen somebody throw some disrespectful shots at us. That's. I feel like we worked really hard to get in this spot. Call us a G League team is pretty crazy. So, but at the end of the day, we still got to go out there and show and prove.
When you have guys who've never played the game of basketball commentating on stuff they don't know nothing about,
Man, like
it's noise.
There's a lot of noise out there, but
That's a
like
lot of people these days. A lot of people.
a lot of people who have never played the game of basketball at any level, talk less of the highest level in Europe, always have their own opinions. But at the end of the day, like, I just look at it as guys and fans wanting and wishing they were basketball players. So it's not really too big of a deal on what anybody says, but it's all just up to us. More worried about what we do than anything else at the end of the day.
I'm excited, man. I think, being able to experience the playoff atmosphere and the intensity of the gameplay at the NBA level, I can only imagine what it is, over here in Europe. And I guess I really wanted to ask, guys that have been there, how do y'all feel about the playoff, atmosphere? And, we see when it comes to NBA playoffs, bro, they start targeting specific guys. You know what I'm saying? Like all that run this, run here, do this play kind of goes out the window. Bring them up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta guard now. You know what I'm saying? There's no hiding. And of course we don't want to give away what we possibly gonna do. But what do you guys feel like the difference
Talk about the
is?
Milan series. I know specifically when we played Milan the first game. We won the first game, lost the second. With Shields, we let him get to his right. He was barbecue chicken. He got me a few times. And then once we really because then everyone's locked in. Yeah, we say every game matters, but you have Turkish League, you have this, you have that. So now we know, okay, we're keeping Shields left. He's not getting to his right. And at all costs. So everyone, I feel like, regardless of how the seasons went, whatever, everyone's ready to run through a brick wall. So I think that's where the intensity picks up, and you can kind of speak to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the playoffs it's similar to what you said. All that other stuff goes out the window. It's like, obviously strategies are going to change, but from game 1 to game 2 to game 3, you're going to see something different.
Right.
Everybody's going to adjust. And speaking on the Milan series, game 1 we went on the road. Game 2, they beat us and Shields went crazy down the stretch, going to his right hand on a very specific play. I swear the next 4 or 5 days you have practice between that Thursday game and that Tuesday game. It's like, whatever he does, he's not going this way. And that's the adjustments that are going to be made. So obviously we're playing against very talented players, Nunn, Slukas, Hernan Gomez, Mitolu, you can name all of them. But when it comes down to the EuroLeague playoffs, it gets very specific in the details. And I know, especially Coach Banki, he's been very, very specific on holding everybody accountable to specific things, taking fouls in practice, doing little things, but it actually does matter. And it may just sound like fluff, but it's genuinely true. And it's gonna take those small little adjustments of you knowing guys' tendencies that's gonna push you above the level that you need to go to win. Right. And especially starting on the road, you're gonna have to get one game there with those crazy fans. You can't expect the refs to be on our side.
Yeah.
You can't expect anything to be easy for us. So it's going to be how locked in we are to the details and how focused we are on those small things that are going to be able to help us get one of those games. Because we're going to have to get at least one there to go to the place that we're trying to get to. So, I would say that's my experience with it. And obviously planning to be in a great team. I think Ataman is, he's been in Efes for many, many years. He's been here, hired, fired many times, won championships here. Been in bad situations here, a lot of respect, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a very challenging series, and it's going to be exciting. And the main thing I would say that I want y'all to genuinely feel is pressure is a privilege, bro.
Nah,
it genuinely is, because at the end of the day, you were here last year, you weren't here, but we played in a play-in game, we didn't make the playoffs. And then our EuroLeague season was over. And you remember how that feeling felt?
It was rough.
That it feels terrible. to give ourselves an opportunity to go play against the defending champions in Oaxaca, which this year I would say is the best fan base that there is. It's a privilege, bro. It's like it's a blessing to have that moment. But don't let the moment be bigger than what it is. You're just going to play basketball.
They put their shirts on the same way they put ours on.
They lace them up the same way.
At the end of the day, they're the defending champions. They're trying to defend their title. What are we worried about? We're just going to play basketball. Lock in, focus on the details, the small things, and enjoy the moment. Have fun. Smile, laugh, enjoy it. Don't be tense and be like, oh shit, we gotta do this, all right? Bro, like enjoy this shit because you're 25 years old playing European basketball in one of the best atmospheres that you're ever gonna play basketball in. 28?
Yeah.
26 years old? Like, bro, come on, dog. Like,
I feel like it's just hard. Like it's like impossible not to get up for like an environment like this, you know?
Yeah.
Like you rather go play the defending champs.
Get up for it, but like
you got one of the best players in the league.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Great coach, great atmosphere.
Just signed a $20 million deal. Like,
it's gonna be fun, bro.
Just
like
enjoy it
And
because
the fact that we have like a group of guys that genuinely know we could beat anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think everybody's like, yeah, you know, we got a good team. We feel like we can compete with it. But like we've already shown. Of course, you look at the roster. It's like, oh, how is this team not the best team in EuroLeague? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think the fact that we even have a team that genuinely feels like there's nobody that can beat us already puts us in a position that we need to be at. And I think, you know, we have the guys to go out and do what we need to do, bro.
Talent's never been the question. It's just like go out there and show an improvement every single night. I feel like this series, like you said, just not overthinking it. It's gonna be fun. I mean, we're all excited for sure. So we'll just see. Take it game by game is what I would say.
Facts. Jay?
Oh yeah, I mean, I spoke on a little earlier, but I agree with that statement too. I feel like all of us got to go there and do our part, and you know, really just lock into, I guess, our roles. I mean, we all know how each other, at this point, we know how we all play, we know how teams, you know, guard us, everything. So just going out there and, you know, doing what we need to do. So it's going to be exciting. Shit, play in a couple of days to get it done.
Facts, yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, to have fun, you know. We obviously know what happened with me beginning of the season. I was letting my emotions high, and that's kind of where I've been at lately is trying to enjoy the game more. You know, you sometimes, especially with the religious fans and crazy, you know, oh, why'd you lose this fantasy points, all that stuff, your emotions can go up and down. But just like you said, like being able to play basketball in Europe with crazy fans like that it's a blessing, you know, it's an honor. So I think I'm just super grateful and excited to be able to play them in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
So now we have the quick fire round. It's going to be quick questions, and I guess we'll just go around. I'll ask the question, and then you guys will just answer quickly. So the first one is one Turkish word you've learned, but maybe shouldn't say on the mic.
Oh, I know, but I can't. I really can't say it.
Okay. Let's just say one Turkish word that you can say on the mic.
That you can't?
Can.
Oh, that you can't say it. Oh, okay.
Just like a regular one?
Yeah.
I got a couple.
Tamam.
You've been here longer than both of them, so you gotta know something better than tamam.
Hoş geldiniz.
Oh!
That's like welcome or like good morning or something like that. Yeah.
Teşekkür.
Teşekkürler.
That's it. You gotta say that a lot.
It's close enough. Dinner dream guest, dead or alive? I know who yours is gonna be. Actually, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I know for sure yours. Dean.
That's what I thought too.
Dinner dream guest.
Do it.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? I know my answer. Want me to say mine?
As you know it, just say it.
Rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant, my favorite basketball player of all time. That's my answer.
I'll probably go with Cole too.
Cole?
For sure.
They went with a hooper.
They went with a hooper? Shit.
Yeah, I'll probably say.
This shit keep laughing, dog.
I'll probably say, I'm gonna be honest, Dua Lipa.
Wait, boy, no way he just.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I feel you.
Wait, bro.
So, if you weren't playing basketball, what would you be doing?
Boy.
Nah, no, for real. If I wasn't hooping, I originally wanted to be a vet, like growing up my whole life, and I would have been a vet, but I'm allergic to guinea pigs.
Wait, that's a crazy allergic.
I'm so dead serious. I'm like, definitely, like I got rushed to the hospital once because I had a guinea pig.
So tell us how you found that out.
Okay, so I'm like 10 years old at the time, and my mom was an occupational therapist. She was going to like a school for something with kids, and they had a class pet, and they had like the little, like the little chicks, and they also had guinea pigs. So my dumb ass, I'm in there, I'm petting all the chicks and all the guinea pigs. I love animals, so like I'm petting the guinea pigs. Next thing you know, like my eyes getting red, throat getting scratchy. I don't know why though. So I go get some water. I think everything's cool. I go back. I start petting the guinea pigs again. Next thing you know, I cannot breathe at all. I'm like, Mom. I'm like, Mom. I look crazy. We leave there and she rushed me to the place. They gotta give me, like, I'm getting like the oxygen, everything. And then I do a panel. Like a week later, they just tell me like, yeah, like you're like super allergic to guinea pigs.
Wow.
That's very random. Though.
Imagine if you became a vet.
And then
you didn't
somebody had a
find that
guinea
out
pig.
until you had to deal with a guinea pig. Bro.
So. All right, what you would have done, Dio?
I don't know, honestly. Me and my little brother.
Been a streamer.
Maybe a streamer. I don't know. Me and my brother grew up playing video games, watching anime. So like, definitely, I don't know. Streaming would be tough.
I would have been a bowler, man.
A bowler. So you can go at
nice.
CP.
Yeah, for sure.
You can spin the ball though, or you bowl it straight.
Bro, I do all that.
So you hold it like this, and
I know on our team thinks they're really nice. Roddy swear he like the best bowler. Boubois.
Man, listen, nobody in basketball is seeing me in bowling.
Nobody in basketball.
Basketball.
But ain't
Like
don't CP does
CP
like,
has like
Listen,
so like when you go, what's your score?
my highest is 289.
Oh
What?
damn. 300 the highest, ain't it?
Yeah, my like all my family bowls. Like my family from Baltimore, all of them bowl. Like some
So
of
they
them bowl
bowlers or
professional.
hoopers, or they both?
Both. Really?
That's
I
it.
mean, honestly,
289. That's crazy.
yeah, I've been bowling like ever since.
so you got your own. No,
you got your own ball, though.
Yeah.
I've been having all my own stuff since I was like 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I ain't know that.
What's up?
Wow.
All right, welcome to EuroLeague moment. We're like, okay, this is different. Like, what's going on here?
Boy, training camp.
Training camp?
Training camp, bro. When I first got out to Serbia, we had training camp, and I can't remember what the name it was, but it was like some mountains or whatever. And you know, training camp anywhere is supposed to be like the roughest time.
Right.
But man, I was like you, Dio, like after the first day or two,
Yo, for me.
yeah, I
It's time
called my
to go.
people's like, bro, and I've never quit anything, y'all. Like I've never started something and didn't
finish
bro.
it,
I called my people's like, yo, I'm about to buy my ticket, and I'm not even gonna tell nobody. Like I'm about to be home. But yeah, training camp was different. The 2 days.
2 days with Obradovic.
2 days with Obradovic. Tape. Every time, bro. Every time. But yeah.
It was the chicken coop.
I mean that's not even EuroLeague yet, but like, welcome to the EuroLeague moment.
I'm not.
What was you
No, I
about to
wasn't
say?
EuroLeague. You check my check
You
With-
check my check?
with your mans.
Who?
Oh, they aired him.
I mean, but like he just like an aggressive, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he an overzealous kind of coach. Like, or is overzealous the right word?
What's
I'm
the
not trying to
EuroLeague moment, man?
Spell it.
I don't know how to spell it, but I know what the word is. I ain't trying to
Welcome
disrespect
to
coach
EuroLeague
though,
moment.
Welcome to EuroLeague moment. I don't know, man. I probably would say just like my first game, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't really know it was so fast.
Pana.
Actually.
You switched last play to get the stop.
I don't even remember what I did that game. All I just know is just like, I was in Denizli one day. The next day I was playing versus Pana here in Istanbul. And it was just like,
A blur.
Half the team injured.
half the team is injured. There's like 20,000 people in the arena. I was just like, like since I was a rookie, like it's been like the craziest atmosphere I've seen. I would probably say that.
Alright, Jay. Welcome to your EuroLeague moment.
I really got two for real. So the first one, I will never forget this for the rest of my time as a professional basketball player.
Whoa.
My first day, I show up here at Efes, get in the gym. I'm with Urson. I look at my locker. I just see a jersey and shorts. That's it. I asked Urson. I say, "Hey, bro, can I get some socks, shorts, and a shirt?" This dude gave me. I
Zero
swear,
English.
he went to the bottom. Zero English. So I'm like showing him my phone. He goes to the bottom of like his little, his great little joint. He pulls out like used sock, crosses out the number on him, gives him some used socks, tights, used, and like this shirt. I think they might have been yours from last year or something.
That's crazy.
I'm like, oh nah. But and the other one I'll say, is when we went to training camp was OD. We were in Slovenia, yeah.
Bro,
But I'll never forget touching that hotel room, and it was
No
105 degrees with no AC.
That's my thing though. Like, is there no AC over here?
In Europe,
but that's what
In Europe, there's no AC, huh?
There is, but it's not common.
Dude, it's crazy, bro.
that was the
Crazy.
first time in years I was sleeping with the door open to the wilderness, like no screen, door wide open, bro. And I was still hot. I'm like, bro, I don't know how I can sleep
That shit
like
ridiculous.
bro.
On the beds pushed together.
On the beds pushed together,
Oh,
bro. Jordan was crazy, but hey, it goes to show, man. It's a real grind, but at the end of the day, like where we're at now, and it's worth it. So
Hey, boy, overseas is not for the faint-hearted at all, bro.
That is true.
I mean, there used to be roommates too.
There used to be roommates here. Shit, we blessed right now, apparently. Like, we lucky now, so just grateful for it all.
All right. If you could swap lives with someone for a day, who would it be and why?
Not a single individual.
No.
I'm okay with the life that I'm living.
probably Dua Lipa.
Bro, what is wrong with this thing, bro?
I'm
Tripping, bro.
Oh my God. Hey,
that one don't go viral, dude.
He crazy,
I'm
dog.
playing. Honestly, like realistically, I don't know who I want to swap a day with. Really,
If it was just a day, maybe, I mean, it would be cool to.
I want to be somebody in charge.
Trump?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say the president at some point.
No, that'd be a cool experience to see how everything operates. But you
I'll
said
swap with somebody in like, if Area 51 is real.
It is
that's-
real.
If it is,
It is.
I hope so.
Trust me,
If it is, I'm there.
You been there?
Just
I
so
just
can
know it
see-
is, boy.
I can see what's
Area
going
51
on for
real,
real.
bro.
For real.
I'm very inquisitive. All right, so who you?
Nobody.
Nobody?
I don't know, bro.
it would just be for a day. It's not like you're like,
Yeah, I mean, if it's just for a day, shoot, anybody, bro. To get a different perspective
Yeah.
on life. I don't know, bro.
Shit. Actually,
Anybody
I
that won't do
might-
what I do.
I
actually know who I would do.
The writer of One Piece, because I want to know what happens at the end of it. I don't watch 1,000 episodes and we still going. I need to know what happens at the end of that.
I say
That's
Ja-
what I would do. That's what I would be.
I'd probably say like Bill Gates and then Venmo Dan Oturu.
You said Venmo. That's that limit, bro.
You better.
Nah, like bank wire transfer. Like, yeah, I just want to give this random guy like a bill.
He gonna dispute it the next day.
All right. So, Final Four is around the corner. Obviously, we spoke about the playoffs. Final Four, outside of Efes, who are your other picks? You got Olympiacos, Bayern or Madrid. You got Fener in Paris. Us in Pana, but y'all all gonna say us. And then you have Monaco and Barca. What are y'all other picks?
I feel like it's tough, man. Like, every team is so good and competitive, so, like, it's really hard to choose. But if, I'll say probably Olympiacos. Wait, actually, you said, because the Bayern and Madrid, play for that spot, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that one depends, like, I don't know, honestly.
So you got whoever else.
I got Bayern over Olympiacos.
Really?
You got Bayern over Olympiacos.
That's a hot take, man.
That's a very hot take.
Clip that.
They got Booker back, huh?
Yeah,
They
Booker
do.
back.
We've been hooping.
Olympiacos, I mean, like, they got Vezenkov, and he's nice as hell, so, like, it's tough, too.
So you got Olympiacos.
I got Olympiacos, and then
Fener Paris. Who you got?
Fener.
Fener. Well, let's see what Dio got.
shit, I hope Paris, but, like,
You hope Paris.
I
All right.
mean,
Okay, you got
I-
Paris. Then Barca, Monaco.
Barca.
Barca. So you got all upsets except Olympiacos.
I mean, Fener's gonna beat Paris, but I would like Paris to beat Fener.
So you got Fener,
got-
Olympiacos,
Yes,
Barca over Monaco.
and then us.
Then that's who y'all got?
I'm Olympiacos, Fener, Barca.
Barca.
I'm gonna go Monaco, Fener, Olympiacos.
Monaco, Fener, Bayern.
Bayern over Olympiacos.
I feel like Fener and Paris, that's a great series. Like, people are like, that's gonna be a really good
That's
series.
an underrated one.
It's
for
an underrated
sure.
series, you know?
They beat them. They barely beat them both times.
Both times, yeah. Paris is, shout out Paris, they, you know, did their thing.
All right, so let's go from that to now. Who's the MVP of the season? Who y'all got? I
Kendrick
did an
Nunn.
interview earlier. You got K9?
The man that just got 20 M's.
Kendrick
whatever.
Nunn.
K9?
K9.
Bro, like, but
K9?
what TJ Shorts did this season,
You
bro.
got K9 too?
Yeah.
Why y'all got K9 though?
Bro,
If you
like,
take him off that team,
they not, like, I mean, they're good, but, like, I mean,
All
but
right.
you can say the same
You-
thing about TJ Shorts, too.
you
Take-
put Peters in.
Take TJ Shorts off of Paris.
But
I think it looks.
They
it
almost
looks
beat Madrid,
different.
though.
Huh?
They almost beat Madrid without him.
Take
Mauro
TJ
Dolo.
Shorts off of Paris, bro.
They're not in the same
The
position.
guy's averaging 19 and 8.
They're not in the same position, obviously.
so what?
K9 averaging 21 and 4.
So what if you just swapped them?
They're not the same.
I think it's very.
What if you
different.
just swapped them?
not the
K9
same.
on Paris, and
I think
I feel like you can do that here, not in the league.
I think if you put K9 on Paris though, I think his numbers might go up.
No
for
cap.
sure they do. But
They might
I
be
think
averaging
the
like
other guys on the
23,
team numbers go down.
Who? Oh, like
If you put
Hippie and all
K9
that?
on Paris, I think the other guy's numbers go down. Because K9's an unbelievable scorer, but his instinct is to score. Shorts is scoring and, bro, 19 and 8. He's scoring and assisting. He's responsible for the most points per minute, per team in the league. He's responsible for 38 points a night.
I feel like his argument is very strong, especially because he had 23 and 9 yesterday and just got him to the playoffs. So, like, I
If,
feel like
if we were talking before the season and I told y'all Paris was going to make the playoffs and beat Madrid on the road to get into the playoffs, what y'all would have
hell no.
said? Like, nah, ain't no way.
no, that's a fact.
And
That's
I
a
would have told
fact.
you, yeah, TJ Short's going to average 19 and 8. What y'all would have said?
I mean, he was always nice. He's
I
been
told
nice
y'all-
everywhere he's played, though. People don't understand that. He's been nice
I
at
would've
every
said- I
level
would've
he's played
said
at.
if Paris was gonna be that good, that's the only way that was gonna happen.
And
for
if,
sure.
and if I would have told y'all, yeah, all right, K9 going to average 21 this year, what, y'all be like, of course.
I mean, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But I feel like K9's
Would
also
you say
had
recency?
recency bias. But, like, I mean, honestly,
So all y'all got K9.
I think he might be an MVP for sure. But if TJ Shorts were to win the MVP award, that would be a
So
very
he's more valuable to his team than
that would be a
what,
very acceptable choice as well.
he's more valuable to his team than what K9 is.
I feel like
Or than,
okay,
than what?
in
No
literal
way.
sense,
I can't
yes.
say-
Solid.
I can't say that.
So then,
I can't say that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, cause like
so
we,
K9's more valuable to his team than TJ
cause when we
Shorts.
played Panda, the first
played
time we played
Panda without
Panda, we
K9,
beat
it was a
them
lot
by
different.
30. Beat Panda by 30, and then we played him again, and he had 30 in the second half. Like,
37.
it's hard to say, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to really like say like he's not the MVP. He's been playing the best basketball out of
They both
everybody.
been
low
playing
key.
great though. So shoot.
But if either one of them won,
Yeah, I mean, I think
It's a
those are the-
toss-up in my
those are the
opinion.
top two for sure.
for sure.
I just got
I mean,
Shorts. Maybe
Vezenkov,
I'm
you gotta put
biased.
him up there too. Like, he got the highest PIR, but like we already know how some guys.
I
feel
think
about PIR.
you put Peters in, he did the same thing
Yeah.
damn near
last
year.
year. I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a good point too.
So we'll see. All right, so that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed the episode. Very special episode. Thank you to my brothers for being here today.
Thanks for having us, gang.
Appreciate you, my
A
dog.
lot of exciting things coming in the future, but
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep it off the record.